All right. So we need to go ahead and head over to Google Classroom. We have one last reading to do for Islam about our religions. Okay. So over on Google Classroom, for social studies, we have one last one. It should be posted. It's called Islam Reading. So let's go ahead and get those Google Slides opened up, please. Okay, guys, with the chat, we're going to stop, please. I have no issue turning the chat off if we can't control it. So, okay, again, focus and stop. Alex, put it over your nose, please. So, we have one last reading for Islam. I will read it to you, and then there's 10 questions. There's no activity to do with this one, like Twitter or graphic organizer or anything. It's just answering the questions. So we're going to go ahead and read through it, and then I will give you guys the time to be working. So, we're going to start at the top. Understanding Islam, the beginning to today. So, the time length of the religion for Islam. So our key concepts, it's like a vocabulary word, religion. A belief system that influences the development and culture of a civilization. Our first part says the Arabian Peninsula before Muhammad. I don't like that font. It's hard to read. So the majority of Arabs live in the Arabian Peninsula. At the beginning of the 1st century were nomads, people who traveled from place to place with no permanent home. These people worshipped many gods and developed into various competing tribes. Many families within these tribes created caravans, traveling across the desert carrying their wares on camels, as well as herding sheep. Scarce resources, such as water and grazing land, developed a warlike culture on the Arabian Peninsula, and caravan raiding became common as caravans themselves. So they weren't really in one place. Nomads traveled around and went from place to place, and they had to bring all their stuff with them. So a lot of the time they would get raided and lose their stuff, which is not great. Then we have the holy city of Mecca and Muhammad. In 570 CE, the wealthy caravan city of Mecca acquired a reputation as sacred because it housed idols, statues of many gods, in the Kaaba, a cube-like black shrine for prayer. Furthermore, the wealthy merchant class sold idols to pilgrims visiting the holy city. Muhammad, the founder of the Islamic faith, was born in Mecca. As he grew, the inequality he witnessed between the poor and wealthy merchant class troubled him. At the age of 40, back to the top, Muhammad was meditating in a local cave when his life forever changed. According to Muslims, the angel Gabriel appeared and told him to recite the word of God. The ability to quote the word of God made him a prophet, or the messenger of God. He believed that by worshiping one God, Allah, it would unite his people. Mercy and kindness would be at the center of his new religion that he would call Islam, which means submission. Muhammad would call his followers Muslims, which would mean followers of Islam. Sorry, I need a drink. So Muhammad is the prophet. What is a prophet? What is a prophet? A messenger of God. Good. Muhammad's teachings. The word of God, as interpreted by Muhammad, was written down in Arabic and recorded on the Quran, the holy book of Islam. In addition to the Quran, the Hadith, a collection of records of Muhammad's words and daily actions, referred to as the Sunnah, or habits, also provides Muslims with a guidance on how to live. The critical part of a Muslim's life defines how one should live a life that best follows that of the founder Muhammad. There are 5 pillars of Islam. The Islamic faith stands on 5 principles or pillars, written in the Hadith. The first, Shahada, states that the believers will only worship one God, Allah. The second, Salat, dictates that all Muslims will worship 5 times a day, at sunrise, noon, mid-afternoon, twilight, and at night, facing in the direction of Mecca. Muslims will bow in prayer. The third pillar is zakat, or the giving of alms. All Muslims are expected to contribute a portion of their earnings to the helping of others, the poor, the widows, and the orphans. Fasting during the holy month of Ramadan is the fourth pillar and is known as Psalm. I don't know how to say that one. It looks like Psalm. Ramadan is the 9th month of the Islamic calendar, and during the entire month, Muslims do not eat or drink from dawn until dusk. So they don't eat or drink all day, but they can during the night.
Oh, what the heck?
So
Can you get snacks on the fridge?
no, that's the whole point of fasting. You don't eat.
Oh.
Yeah. They may only eat during the night, and at the end of the month, they celebrate with a feast with their family and friends. The fifth and final pillar of the Islamic faith is Hajj. At least once in a Muslim's lifetime, they are to visit the city of Mecca and pay respect to the Kaaba. So those are the 5 things that they strive to do in Islamic religion. It's almost, to them, it's similar to the 10 Commandments in Christianity, right? Those are the things that they follow every day. Okay, leadership after Muhammad. After the death of Muhammad in 632 CE, there was some controversy as to who should become the new leader of the Islamic people. Some believed that the new leader should be elected from among Muhammad's worthy companions. Those were people who had studied under the great leader. The first elected caliph, or the highest leader, was Abu Bakr, a close friend and advisor of Muhammad. Today, the people who still support the idea that devout Muslims like Abu Bakr can lead are known as Sunnis. So that's one side of Islam, the Sunnis. However, back to the top, there were those who believed that the new leader should be a blood relative, like monarchies that inherit the throne. They named Muhammad's cousin or brother-in-law, Ali bin Abu Talib, the new leader. These believers became known as the Shiites, or the Shia, or Shiite. I don't know. I know. It does not look like what it says. So just make sure you say that one correctly, please.
Oh.
These 2 groups still exist today. Out of the approximately 14 million Muslims globally, 90% of the Muslims are Sunni. So most of them are Sunnis and believe that it's just it doesn't need to be a blood relative that takes over when the first one dies, just someone who is a big supporter of the religion. Okay, Islamic law. During the 3rd century, Muslim scholars developed the Shara, or Islamic law. In Arabic, this word means path or way, and is a detailed system of religious law based on Muhammad's teachings and examples. Sharia law contains 2 main sections. The first deals with the different aspects of worship, including how to pray and fast. The second section deals with the various types of human interaction. This section includes such topics as food and drink. Muslims are not allowed to eat pork, for example. It also talks about warfare, marriage, and divorce. They hold, I want, oh, never mind. I'm thinking of a different one. Never mind. Anyway, keep going. Modern legislation, which are laws, along with Muslim legal scholars who are attempting to relate the will of Allah to the 20th century, have reopened the door to interpreting the Sharia as Muhammad intended. This happened even in highly traditional Saudi Arabia, where Islam began. While most Muslim countries have adapted Islamic law to relate to modern Western culture, some countries, like Iran, adhere to strict classical Sharia. In these cases, Sharia from the time of Muhammad is mandated and often offer harsh punishments to Western standards. As with most early law, early Sharia has a controversial eye for an eye penalty of misconduct. So, you steal something, I'm going to steal something back from you type of idea.
So if you kill someone, they kill you?
Yeah.
What? So if people, they're like Iran and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
So if they give, they have to give that to you?
It's more of a punishment thing, not a good thing. All right, so based off of that reading, there are, I believe, 10 questions for you guys to answer. And all of the questions are in your reading, so take your time, work on those. Now, the thing about this is, This reading, as well as all of the other ones, the Buddhism, Hinduism, Judaism, Christianity, and this one, Islam, all 5 are graded assignments that I know there's quite a few of you guys that are not done with them. Like most of you guys. There's only a couple of you guys that have finished all of them so far. Those of you that are not caught up on, highly suggest you get caught up on them. These are 5 assignments that are going into your gradebooks by Friday. I have 1, 2, 3. I only have 4 people that are finished with all of them. So yeah, I just need you guys to know that these readings and the activities that go with them are graded and will be going into grade book. So if you're not done with them, I would focus on these and getting them done. So yeah, I will put on a little bit of music and let you guys be working on these 10 questions. I don't know, Jada, should you listen to music? Keep it appropriate and we'll see. Okay. So I'm going to stop our recording and let you guys be working.